So when the drone hit your apartment, could you physically feel the explosion like through the building?
It was very strange feeling because it's like a little bit inside in your body. You can feel that. And now when I speak it, I have a very cold hands because I think it's a little bit also nervous when I remember it that time. And after that, I couldn't sleep maybe 2 months or 3 months. And that's why I need to drink some pills to sleep well. Because I don't have, before I didn't have some problems with sleeping. But when the Shahed pulled to our flat, I started to be nervous. And that's why all air alarm, I'm staying in shelter.
Welcome back, everybody. So today's interview is with a young lady named Anastasia. She's a high school student and president of her class. She lives in Kiev with her mom and dad. The interview is equal parts incredibly heartwarming, but also just like very unsettling to hear about what she and her family have lived through. So, if you'd like to help support the Ukrainian military that is protecting young people like Anastasia, you can find links to a couple of different fundraisers for the Ukrainian military, and you'll find that in the description and pinned in the comments. All right, Anastasia, thanks so much for for taking the time to chat today. Yeah, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Anastasia, but all my friends call me Nastya. It's like a short form of my name. My age is I'm 15 years old, but on 22nd of May I will be 16, and I could go abroad only without any certificates or something written by my mom. I live in the capital of Ukraine, in Kiev. I'm a student in Ukrainian Lyceum. It's International Relations Lyceum, and it is in the center of Kiev.
You said the International Relations Lyceum. Is that like a specialist high school?
Before the war, it was specialized in the English language and in French language. But when the war started, it's like put on the second plan, and now we like at the usual school. But before the war, they have like ed classes for like English literature, English culture. They do some, no, our school do some tour in Kiev, like for the international tourists to like about Sofia Kievska, the main sighting in Ukraine, and about another one also.
You mentioned that at this specialist high school that you go to, they focus on languages like English and French. So how many languages do you speak?
I speak Ukrainian language. I speak a little bit Russian. Also, I speak English, and I could speak French, but not like some only to introduce myself only.
Do you speak Russian?
Yeah, I speak Russian before because before the war, many people of Ukraine speak Russian, but now it's like not good to speak Russian, and all our students, all teachers are preferred to speak Ukrainian one. But also some people are still speaking Russian, and it's not a big problem. But for some people who came, who come from where they're a little bit hard to understand why they also stay speaking Russian, no Ukraine.
So when I asked you what languages you spoke, why did you not mention that you speak Russian?
Because it's not a good language that I would like to proud that I could speak this language. That's why I like to speak only languages that it's really that's a country who speaks this language is really good. And no, because Russian language is something I don't like to speak and to tell people that I know this language.
Um, are you involved in student government at all?
Yeah, I'm a president of my school and a president of my class. We made a lot of like performance, act performance, and some projects. We went also for one project to Germany, and we communicate with German students, and we told about Ukrainian. But a lot of teachers in their schools don't understand. Like when we came to Germany, some teachers are starting to they want to help us to communicate with more people, and they started to introduce for us students from Russia. They don't know difference of Ukrainian students and Russian students, and they think it's the same. And it was the biggest problem. And when I yeah, and when I starting to tell no about Ukraine, it was very hard to them to know that it's to another countries. It's not the same. It's not the same culture. It's not the same students. It's not all the. We don't have anything the same.
Yeah, so you sound very academically focused. Like your mom is always talking about how academically gifted you are, but she she also mentioned sometimes that that in her opinion you spend maybe a little bit too much time with your friends and sort of socializing when you should be studying. Do you agree with that?
It's like a little bit my guilty pleasure because I like spend a lot of time with friends because it's a 10 forums, and in 11th forum I would stay more at home and study and preparing for NMT test. It's a test for you need to pass it if you want to go to university. That's why now it's like the final year. I feel myself free and I want to enjoy this time at all. And I wanted to go with friends. And sometimes it's maybe a little bit bad for my studying, but it's normal. It's something good in the situation we.
So your high school is very focused on politics, international politics, languages, international relations. Do you see yourself pursuing a career in international relations after university?
Maybe no, because I would like to prefer my career for something more creative. Because I'm very creative people and like to organize something. That's why maybe my dream is to opening event agency, like to organize some weddings or birthday parties. For me, it's a part of my life. Like this, an active part of my life. It's where I can do all what I want. Like to communicate I could do some performance and feel myself that I need in this sphere because I like to do that, and all people told me that it's when I do it it's make well, it's do well, it's like it's yeah.
Yeah, so a party organized by you is a great party.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice. So I'm curious about your relationship with your mom and dad. So I know that school is being held remotely, or it was being held remotely when the weather was really cold and the electricity supply was not reliable. So you're spending a lot more time at home. And your mom was telling me that she really likes having you home because she gets to spend more time with you. Are you also enjoying this time at home with your mom and dad, or would you rather be at school with your friends?
We stay in online study for 10 weeks, and it's too long because the first maybe 5 weeks it was very funny because we played some games, we cook something, we walk for a walk, so we do anything that we couldn't do when I was offline studying. But when it started to be 6 week, or when we stayed home, it started to be boring, and I started to want to go to school. That's why not only to because it's also hard to educate online. For me, it's better to educate offline when you can speak with your teacher, when you can speak with with your friends at school. You could know more information because someone asked a question, second one asked some question, and that's why you know more. And when you study online, it's not such interactive kind of work. That's why the first 5 weeks was great, but I would like to go to school always.
I hear that your dad really likes board games, but your mom is often maybe too busy to play. So you have sort of become your dad's board game buddy. Do you like playing board games, or is this something that you do just so that you can spend some time with your dad?
I like to play board games. Maybe the first person who showed me board games, I think, was my grandpa and grandma that lives in Chmelnytsky. With my dad, I like to play this game because it's like also a part of our communication when we can speak about something, when we can relax. And it's very funny because we have like also our like favorite games that we play.
I'm curious how your relationship with your mom and dad has influenced your choice of future career and your interests, because you come from a really well-educated family. Both your mom and your dad are like these high-powered lawyers. Are your parents trying to persuade you to go into the legal profession and go to law school and become a lawyer, or are they willing to, let you make your own decisions?
Maybe they willing to let me to make my own decision because in my family also not only my mom and my dad lawyers, my grandma and my uncle and my aunt, they're all lawyers, but they know that, like my mom also know that I and my dad also know that I couldn't stay like and write something all time, like to do some documents. I need to do something active because I need to like to call someone to some active word. That's why they don't like no they don't press me to work like in the lawyers here. But I have some a kind of I have some opinion that I could be a lawyer because all my family is lawyer. Why I couldn't be a lawyer? But I think the lawyer profession is not for me.
Okay, so your mom told me that the high school that you go to is actually very close to the university that she works at, so it's very convenient for her to give you a ride to school and drop you off at school. But she said that sometimes she'll offer you a ride, like a ride home from your high school, and you'll be like, no, no, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll take the bus. So why do you prefer public transit instead of getting a ride from your mom? Because you would save so much time if she just dropped you off. So yeah, why would you rather take the bus?
I like public transport because it's like time to relaxing. You don't need to do anything. You could only stay and only sit and scrolling or TikTok or watching to people. When you like ride with my mom, it's like I need to be ready. It's like it's 5:30 to stay on some station and my mom need to pick up me at it. But when I ride by bus, I could go to some shop. I could eat something. I could stay more time with my friends. Because always it is because my mom come back to home like near 5 o'clock, but I could go no to home about 7 o'clock because I don't have like some tasks to do. And the spot for me, this is 2 hours. It's time when I could go somewhere or when I could, no, like when I want to do what I want and not to make sure that I'm not ruin the plan of my mom.
So, since the start of the war, have you noticed any changes in your parents' behavior or emotional state? Like, do they seem more stressed out than usual, or do they treat you any differently?
Yeah, because they started call me when the air alarm started where I am, or I'm in the shelter, or I'm staying at home. Is anything I hear like outside? If it's all great, but also it's very like now I saw that my parents like started to be more stressful when I go outside like at 7 o'clock also, because no, before the war I could go like to 9 p.m, but now I need to go home at 7 p.m, because a lot of like now when the war started, a lot of people started to be a little bit strange, and all people in Ukraine have some strangeness, because we live always in nervous, and there are also a lot of military people who come from war. It's very strange feeling when you live at war. And that's why, yes, my parents a little bit like they started being more stressful and more like more control me.
Can you say that their maybe their like controlling behavior is because of the war, or do you think that this is just a reaction to you growing up and they're kind of like trying to hold on to the last years of your childhood a little bit?
Something is caused by the work, because they started to like to teach me what I need to do if like something happening with home or something like that. Now, when the 2 years of war, we become more no, the people become more strange, and they have like injury. They could have not only physical injury but the mental injury.
As you're thinking about your future in university and afterwards, has the war changed how you think about making a life for yourself in Ukraine?
Yeah, it's very changed my mind, and now also don't know what I would like to do to stay in Ukraine, because it's like my native country where I fluently speak in their no, it's in Ukrainian language, where I have a lot of friends, where I have my family, or to go abroad, and for me it will be very stressful for, I think, for all people, but maybe if I would be a boy, I would like to go to abroad, because if you work in the government or some connected with government, you will stay like in Ukraine. You don't need to go to the military because you work for government. But if I would like to go to work like I don't know, to organize event, I couldn't stay in Ukraine if I would be abroad. But now I have some time to make sure what I want to stay in Ukraine or to go abroad. But all my friends and me also want to stay in Ukraine, because it's like our country and we like the weather here. Because when we spoke with my friends, we like the weather, because it could be -20 and it could be plus 40 in summer, and it's very changeable. But you could go to the sea to swim in the sea to the Odessa, and you could go to the Carpathian Mountains to ski resorts.
Yeah, so I'm curious how living through the war has affected your mental state and your emotions. Um, do you think that you have PTSD?
I think yes, because like when the war started, also for all people that they was in Ukraine, it's have some effect, traumatic effect, because the first day of war it was very stressful, because you need to understand what is the war, because I was only 11 years old when the war started, and for me I didn't know what is the war, and my parents said me that we have some like VPO. It's like a protection from the rockets, Shahed. But I don't know what is a rocket, what is a Shahed. I know that rocket is only what is the flying to the sky, to the space. But what is a rocket there that kill people? No, you don't know what to think, because for we have a shahed in our house, and we couldn't know because we have like a little bit circle house. That's why the shaheds pull in, but our windows go out, and that's why we don't have like some broken windows. But when we opened the door to the corridor, and we saw a lot of smoke, a lot of glass. But it was 7 a.m. It was very stressful, because, and it was the last Shahed that was in Kiev. Like because all Telegram channels wrote that all is clean. You could go to the bed, and when we go to the bed and we heard the sound, I I I run very fast to my corridor because we are staying in the corridor because in our near our there wasn't a really good shelter because Ukrainian is not prepared for the war, and we live in the in the block of flats, a lot of blocks near us. That's why they couldn't make a good shelter for these people. Uh, we don't have a place where we could make that.
Were you so when the drone hit your apartment, could you physically feel the explosion like through the building?
It was very strange feeling because it's like a little bit inside in your body. You can feel that. And now when I speak it, I have a very cold hands because I think it's a little bit also nervous when I remember it that time. And after that, I couldn't sleep maybe 2 months or 3 months. It was very hard to sleep because no, I think it could also make a gain, and that's why I need to drink some pills to make no to sleep well, because I don't have before I didn't have some problems with sleeping, but when the Shahed pulled to our flat, I started to be nervous, and that's why all air alarm I'm staying in shelter. At night it's like always when the nights started and when the night and air alarm started, I always go to the corridor, and we have like a mattress, a sleeping place where we can sleep in the corridor.
Were your neighbors home when the Shahed hit your apartment building? Like the people that live in that apartment?
Yeah, my neighbor was in their building, but they also still in the corridor. Two-person was injured. One pupil, like I think it was a girl near 8 years old, and one woman near 30 years, and that's what the best that we know that anybody was killed. But when you saw your flat in the news, it was very stressful because like the first time that I saw that to my flat pushed the drone, I found understand really that it's really happened. But when I started scrolling Instagram or scrolling news, it was a very popular video. It was a real video, and when I saw, I started analyze that it's really happened, and I started to cry. I couldn't feel myself feel like good. I only stay all time nervous. No, I couldn't be a little bit relaxed. This was it was something I don't know. It's very strange to like to uh to speak about that feeling because no, I couldn't know how to explain that. It's like the moment of this song has
That's kind of weird that, or it's kind of funny that you said it felt unreal when it was actually happening to you, and then it only became real or only felt real when you saw it on Instagram or TikTok.
like when I saw it like in the my real life, it was the 7 a.m. I was very tired because all night was bombs, Shahed, all the drones, a lot of no, for us, 400 drones was pulled to Ukraine, and we stayed all time in the corridor. And when I wake up, I saw that I started to analyze it. It's really happened. I went outside. I saw it again, and it started to make my hands a little bit shaking about that. And now we could know, no, Ukrainian people could know what is a caliber, what is a shahed, what is a to. Because before the war, I only know the rockets, and that's all. No, like God, the rockets that go to the sky, to the space. But now I know a caliber. What is a mig? What is a to? What no? It's and yeah, that sound is another like when the rocket pull, it's in one sound. When the Shahed pull, it's another sound. And now you could know that if the people started to do their work, it's okay. You can stay like only in the corridor, but when the caliber started, you need to go to the shelter because it's really dangerous to hurt the caliber. It's very loud. From the one bank of Kiev, you can hear it in another bank of Kiev, like from the left to right.
So you keep saying PEPO. Is that like the air defense system? What is that?
Air defense system, but I don't know how to explain this air defense system. It's the best that the people could do for the citizens because without people, I think it wouldn't be a Kiev because like in one night, 400 shekels pulled to Kiev. No, it's a lot. And they started to do, our people started to do something. We have a great engineers that made some magic because some engineers like need to go under the water to repair all this energy system. Also, they do it at night, at morning, at evening. They have whole day there doing that. But one time, like this winter, they do a very big destroying in the energy system of Kiev. Like in Kiev, it's maybe we're like normalized it, but in the Kharkiv, in the Odessa, in the Zaporizhia, in another city there more near to the Russia, it's a worse situation than in Kiev, but because they are staying without light 2 weeks without heating. It was minus 20. It's very cold for life for people.
Can you describe how this winter without reliable heat and electricity has affected your day-to-day routine? And even just simple things like how you can take a shower, like or do the dishes or get to school.
No, to school we didn't go to school because in school it was the problems with heating and we couldn't stay because our school is very old and it's built with a stone. That's why it was minus 7 degrees in school and we couldn't normal educate in school. And in our flats it was near like 5 degrees, 10 degrees near that way. And maybe always we do a slick backs with the ponytail. No, all girls I think in Ukraine was with the ponytails and slick backs because we don't have a water for like 3 days. And when the water come back, you need to like to do maybe some food to cook something. You need to you need to wash your body, and that's why all time we was like with some ponytails, and our cooking was only about like sausages with the bread and something like no, like very easy food because no, you couldn't cook some soup or some meat or some fish. But we try also. We have some gas things that you need to like gas balance for the cooking, like travel stove. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, a travel stove or a camping stove.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
and that's why it also was very hard time. But our people do all, and now we have and electricity and heating, and the weather is plus.
So, all the women in Ukraine were only like they only had ponytails because there was no water or electricity to
Yeah,
do your hair.
there are some bonds like on their hats because it was the best hair dress for this time.
So your mom told me that occasionally you'll go stay with your grandparents in Melnitsky. Is that because of the bombing? Like it's safer for you in another city?
We don't know what we need to do in the first day. That's why we went to Unreality because it is not close to the Russia to the front, but in the Zhytomyr Oblast, it is near with Chmelnytsky region. It was and bomb attacks and Russian soldiers in this region, and that's why it also was not very safe place. And also we make a lot of food for the people who come from another cities, like from Kharkiv or from Zaporizhia, and also some our friends or friends of our friends come to our grandma and stay like 2 days, 3 days. No, how long they need, and they have a water shower, and we help them to have a stay, to have a place where they can sleep.
So, as you're spending time with or as you are staying with your grandma and grandpa in Melnitsky, would you say that your grandparents or your parents are better cooks? Who makes tastier food?
It's very hard because my mom is near to me, but I like all foods that they make. But maybe I am better like grandpa food, and because it's like something not unusual. Because I eat my mom's and my dad's food every day. But my grandma food, it's like something special because I eat all for holidays and for some celebrations like birthdays or New Year.